Hi, welcome back to Maxstat with Neil Lorena Coleman. Today I have a special guest joining the podcast. I want to introduce Jana from the Maxton Hall Access fan page.
Hi everyone, I'm Jana. Some of you might know me from Maxton Hall Access, a fan account that I started on Instagram and now run with my lovely friend Janina. And in June, the two of us, along with Davisha, who you've had on this podcast in the last episode, and Elise, we launched the Maxton Edit, a fan magazine where we share updates not just about Maxton Hall, but like the cast and crew in general. And I really love creating spaces where fans can connect, stay updated, and enjoy being part of that fandom together. So thanks for tuning in and thanks, Serena, for having me today.
Yeah, of course. Glad to have you here today. And I initially reached out to you earlier in the year. I had noticed your page was really great. I love the content. So I just wanted to reach out and tell you that. And then you had the fan project that I participated in. So yeah, I've been really happy connecting with you. And we've been in touch since then.
Yes, so much. And I love the fan project. I got so many good feedback, and I love these interactions between fans and the cast. I mean, so many people saw it, and I'm so glad they did. And yeah, so thanks for reaching out to me that time.
Yeah, and I've noticed too that, this fandom here, it's really building a lot of great relationships and friendships. It doesn't matter where we live or what language we speak. I've noticed that all of us are staying connected. Yeah, as I said, just building great relationships.
Yes, totally. I mean, I met so many people, great people here, like the girls from Max and Ada that I just mentioned. I met them. Oh God, I can't even remember. I'm Davisha. We were in touch, I think. Oh my God, I think maybe sometime after I started with the fan account. And then we were like in touch in general few days a week, and then we met Elise, and now we had like a little group chat going on. And since then, we text like really every day about anything. And like they're in America, I'm in Germany. Janina is in Germany. Janina is running the Maxton Hall fan account with me because I was actually too stressed out because I was in my A levels and I was like needing someone who helped me with this fan page because I love doing it, but I was like, it was too much for me to do alone at some point. And then we like met a few times actually too after that. So yeah, it's so great.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this. As I said, we all love the show so much, but it's been great building all of these relationships. And as I said, it doesn't matter where we live, we're all coming together. And was there
Actually,
another moment too that you might want to talk about?
oh God, I think in general, like these interactions that we have. I don't know if I should bring this up, but with the Maxon Edit, we had the pleasure to do an interview with Ellie Riccardi, who plays Elaine Ellington. We had the chance to interview Ben Felipe, who's playing Cyril, but also does music like Ellie does. And then we got so lucky to get an invite to the Softies premiere in Cologne with Damian Hadung, and the amazing opportunity to give him like a little interview. It was like 5 minutes, but it was 5 minutes, and I'm still so thankful for that. So yeah, it's crazy what this fandom does and how the actors appreciate that and the crew and the cast in general, and it's so amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm so happy to be a part of it and have met everyone. I wanted to also just jump into a couple of top Belford moments. I think we
Oh God.
identified a few that we wanted to talk about. And let's begin with the first one. We were in a lecture hall, and Ruby basically called out James. She verbally attacked him, and I don't think he had ever experienced that before. I don't think anyone's dared to talk to him like that.
Actually.
And this, really kind of sets the stage for the apology scene. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my God, that apology scene had me crying on my sofa. It was so amazing. So, I mean, I read the book, so I knew it was coming, but I didn't know when. And these actors, I swear to God, sent by God, I don't know. Yeah, James was like onto his training somewhere. He was working out. And she came there and was apologizing for the way that she treated him. And it was amazing because in his eyes, you see he wasn't expecting that at all. So her being having the guts to get to him again and being like, okay, you know what, I'm sorry. And you see it in her eyes that she's like having a hard time saying that, and you see in his eyes that he's like, wait, hold on, is she really saying this to me? Because like as you know in the scene, he starts with like, do you want to go to Lexington and tell him that I'm like not being the way you want me to be. So he was like, yeah, really surprised.
Yeah, there are so many things that happened within that field. First, as you said, he's not expecting her to come out and apologize. He thinks that she's going to come out and just call him out again to the headmaster. So that's the first thing that I noticed. He already has this impression of why she's coming out there. And then she is really gutsy for going out there to apologize because, he did hurt her previously in the other episodes, but she went out there, she apologized, he was surprised, and that made him have a different perception of her. And as you said, his eyes, he really talks with his eyes. And then, she has a moment too. Both of them have this moment. They're just staring at each other. And I think they both realize that maybe it's not so bad after all. And as she walks away, he doesn't want her to walk away. And he makes a comment that causes her to turn around and give him the finger. But it seems like this was the turning point of the series.
Actually, I think that was it. And it was so emotional. The faces, the aura, the screenplay, the cinematic experience watching the scene, the actress playing the scene, the
Exactly.
emotions in general. It was so much. And yeah,
Yeah, great scene, great scene. So
great.
from there, we have another great scene as well. This is the car scene. Oh wow, episode 3. I
Oh
think we
God.
got we got to go back. We got to go back. This is my favorite episode, episode 3,
Yes.
and I'm gonna pick it up with the dance scene. Oh
Iconic.
wow. I want to watch it right now, actually. But okay, so the dance. So Ruby has showed up at the party and she goes up to James. They start dancing. It's the epic dancing that we all know, that we've all seen on repeat. I think we all know the choreography. So after they finish the dance, they start to head out. And as they head out, they pass by the pool. And that's where things take a turn.
Yeah, that happened. And then Ruby was like drowning in the pool. She didn't get up. Everyone was concerned. Unless some people who were like, oh my God, she deserves this.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna talk about them. Anyways, James jumps right after her and catches her up and brings her up the water and catches her up. And yes, that's basically an emotional scene happening. The other people watching this scene later going viral in the school, people then starting to know who Ruby
Yeah.
is, of course. Um, and this is like really emotional. And then he grabs her and brings her to the car where Percy gives James a hoodie for Ruby to wear. That's actually a pretty emotional scene happening there. Lorena.
Yeah. So now we're in the car, and Ruby, she's telling the story about her childhood when she fell into the water and how her dad rescued her. But as a result of him jumping in, that caused a life changing physical disability for him. And James is hearing this and he's starting to get emotional. And Ruby breaks down and basically collapses in his arms. And at this moment, you see that James is really tender. He's putting the blanket over her. He's using his entire body. He's like lifting his legs just to comfort her, stroking her hair. And you can also see that Percy's turning around. Just, I think Percy is surprised to see that James is actually so emotional and so taken
Protective.
back. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Percy knows him since he's a kid, a baby, and I don't think he's ever seen him like that to care for someone else. Not being selfish.
Also, the scene where he's like looking into the mirror on the car, looking back to James and be like, hey, what's going on? And then like being weird here. Should I go around some more?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He's being considerate. He doesn't want to wake her up
Yeah.
and have her go in the house. But the thing that was the most shocking or just so tender was when we see the tear coming down James's eye or down his cheek. Like I wasn't expecting that.
Yes. And
He's
Ruby
so
opening up.
emotional. Yeah.
Ruby opening up to him with this emotional story about how she was almost drowning and how her dad got disabled. And it's so emotional. This whole scene is like pure emotion put in one scene for me personally. And soundtrack. One shout out to
Oh
the
yeah.
person who did soundtrack on, in general, all Prime videos. movies and series. Wow. Um,
Yeah, you just brought up a really great point too about the music because I remember the lyrics when she falls into his arms. It has these lyrics about how love it's right in front of me, and she's right there,
mhm.
right in front of him.
And
And
I'm
I
like,
think yeah, and I think we all cried. I don't think anyone saw that scene without having their tissues. It was just so emotional, so well acted by the
yeah,
two leads. They did a fantastic job. I mean, we're still talking about it now a year later.
yeah, it's amazing. I hope they know the impact that this series had on us for real. This is amazing.
Yeah, definitely has had a big impact on everyone, which is great. And then another key Belfort moment or scene is the staircase scene. But once again, I think we got to go back a little bit before
Mm,
we talk about the staircase scene. So this is now episode 6, and Ruby and James are at Oxford. They're doing their interviews, and in one particular scene, there's a lecture hall. There's a second year student named Jude, and he's doing a Q&A with
mhm.
the students, and we see jealous James. He's not really loving the connection that he's seeing between Jude and Ruby, and he starts to act out. This is James that I'm referring to, and Ruby's not liking it. So basically, once again, there's another verbal assault. Ruby attacks James, and everything just spirals from here. So I'm gonna flip it over to you from this scene here.
Okay, so yeah, as you said, Ruby attacks James and he leaves the hall and she runs after him. Actually, he's running after her. She's leaving, he's running after her, sorry. And yeah, that's basically where they end up in the staircase of the house apartment thingy that they have their rooms in,
Yeah.
where they stay at Oxford, and they are screaming at each other, being like, "Hey, what is wrong with you?" Basically, and being like getting all their emotions out, and maybe not the perfect way, but in a very emotional way, and yeah,
Yeah, when I saw that, I mean, both of them are just going at it. They're spilling everything out. They're crying, they're yelling. Now, remember, they hadn't spoken for a few weeks since the dad had threatened basically to ruin Ruby's life. So these two have not spoken. And now here they're just laying it all out, and we're all feeling it. I mean, this was another emotional scene for all of us. And once again, well acted by the two leads. And then what happens after? So now she's running up. It looks like she's running to her room. And I hadn't seen this before. Well, none of us had seen it, but I hadn't seen the trailer. I didn't know much about the show. So I thought, okay, this is going to end. We're going to go to episode 7. There's no episode 7. So now they're both up face to face. When I say up, they're both on the same floor. They're face to face, and Ruby's standing in front of him, and she's waiting for him to basically make a move. And you can see her face. She's frustrated, and she's about to turn around when all of a sudden he grabs her arm. I'm screaming
grabs.
at the TV, and wow. I'm gonna turn it to you from here.
Okay, so he grabs her arm basically, and they start a very passionate kiss. Let's say that, and we all know what happens after that. So if you don't watch episode 6, you will know. Um, and yeah, so it's basically a very passionate scene, but also a very emotional, energy loaded scene. Where we see them from like being angry to each other, from being passionate about each other, and like admitting what's going on there in
Mhm.
between them. And after that, they go into Ruby's room. I think it is. I
Yeah.
think it's Ruby's room. And then Ruby gets emotionally very overwhelmed by everything, and then they start a little conversation about what's exactly happening and what they're feeling and what emotions they all go through.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and I remember too that she paused the passionate moment that they were having because
yes,
she's starting to remember how he had treated her. And I think she's confused because right now, here he is being very loving with her, a lot of passion. Yet a few weeks ago, he was ignoring her and being really rude to her. So she wants to just stop this at this moment and have a conversation and find out like what's happening. And that scene too, when they have their conversation, it's another well acted scene between the two leads, and also had all of us crying.
actually, yes. And also, like, him opening up like this about his father. I think he has no one to talk about except for his family, about what's going on in his family. And I think that's probably one of the first times that he opens up to someone else, except for like his sister, his mom, and of course his dad, who's annoying him, to like open up about this whole thing, and her comforting him, and being like, hey, I don't care. I feel that what is in between us, and I don't, that won't come in between us. So that's basically so emotional all the time. And oh my God, I was crying when I watched that scene for the first time. It's still,
Yeah, yeah. I still remember also the song that they played. I hadn't heard it before. I think it's called What Do You Want? Songs in Cinema, if I have it correct. I mean,
I
it's so
think
pretty. It's really beautiful. It's on my playlist.
I have a whole Maxton Hall playlist.
Yeah, so another top scene here, and their passion continues. So I think we can go into a fourth top scene between the two. What do you think?
Yes. Okay. So I had that scene in my head. Okay. So the last scene that is in this series, okay, where James comes up to Ruby's house after finding out that his mom has passed. Where he's standing at the window and watching Ruby being happy with the family and him being like emotionally completely devastated. Is that how you say it? I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and watching them being happy and this cute little family and his family being basically destroyed even more after his mom has passed,
Yeah.
and with his father not telling them earlier that she has passed. And then I think she had like a little glimpse of him and then he went away. That's also like a, he didn't want to ruin that evening for her. He wants to protect her. And I mean, we don't know what happens next, so I don't know, but this was very emotional for me, I think.
The whole series was so emotional for me. I
Yes.
felt like I was constantly crying. My tissue box
Yes,
was
actually.
needing to get refilled. But yeah, just going back to that scene, I remember him looking in and he's all bloodied up. He's crying. He's a mess. And inside, there's this loving family. You see the mom giving the dad a hug and a kiss. The sisters, they're goofing off, they're smiling. So, two total different scenarios are occurring, kind of like the rest of the show. Like every time you're at the Bell House, everything's good, everything's happy. And then when you're at the James's house, it's the total opposite. So, once again, the ending of the series has this really happy family, everything's good. And then on his end, it's the complete opposite. Everything's just fallen apart. And when it ended just the way it did, I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, where's episode seven? Not knowing that there was no episode seven. And I'm patiently awaiting the new season like everybody else. Oh, one other thing, too. I could have sworn that she saw him in the window because she kind of like tilts her head and she's like looking. I'm like, I think
And
she
he's
saw
gone.
him and he's gone. He's gone. And I wish he had
Oh
knocked on
no.
that door. She would have let him in immediately. She would have.
Yes, it's very emotional in general series. I agree with you totally, but that scene was like, I was an emotional wreck after this, okay? So I read the books in before, so yeah, but like seeing this on screen, and I mean by these wonderful actors, by those wonderful producers, right? And stuff, and directors, and the cinematic experience, the sound experience, it's just like everything working together so perfectly. Oh God, give those people an award. Give those people, I don't know, give them a raise because
It was amazing. Yeah, all around a great series. And actually, the way it ended, I immediately went back and I had to watch it again because I was like, wait, what just happened? What did I just see? I remember I was supposed to be running errands that day and I never left my couch. I just sat there for hours. And I don't normally sit on the couch for hours watching a show on repeat. But
yeah.
yeah, it really captured all of us. I don't recall another show that I've seen where I felt this way here. And I think a lot of the fans agree that it's just it's done something to us, but we love it. It makes us happy. It's our comfort show. We have comfort scenes. Like for me, it's that dance scene. So yeah, so those are our top
Dance scene
moments.
too. Oh my God, yes. Oh,
Yeah, okay.
we can talk about every scene here.
There's so many great scenes. Yeah, we can go on and on and on. So those were the key moments that we wanted to talk about. We talked a little bit too about how we got connected, about the fandom, the community. Um, I think I am going to start wrapping it up. So, thank you so much for joining the podcast today. It's been really great having you. You're welcome back anytime. Oh,
Thank
and I
you.
also want to give out a special shout out to our great friend, Davisha. She has a fan page, as you all probably know. She's been on the podcast before, but she's got a fan page, which is Damien Hardin, Florida. Her fan page is going to be turning 1 year in August. This is her anniversary. So, I just wanted to give that shout out. And also, I wanted to tell everyone just go ahead and visit her page. She's got a lot of great content there.
Actually, she has, and she's amazing. So, yes. And yeah, Lorena, thanks for having me. This was such a fun experience, and I'm really grateful that I got the chance to be on here. And it means a lot to talk something that we all love and that we feel connection in the fandom so much. I think that's one of the rarest things that could have happened. And for meeting you, of course, and very other special people. And yes, thanks for having me and making this feel so special. And I really enjoyed it. So I hope you all did too. If you want to keep updated with Maxton Hall, please make sure to follow me on Maxton Hall X's and maybe give a read to the Maxton Edit. It's really a project that we put very much love and work into. So yeah, maybe we'll hear each other again sometime soon.
Sounds great. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.